New details tonight about allegations of misconduct involving Mesa park rangers.
The City of Mesa just released the findings of an 8-month-long independent investigation. And our Jason Berry's live in the newsroom tonight with the details on this. Jason, some of the findings pretty disturbing.
Absolutely. The report paints a very unflattering and unprofessional picture of several park rangers, stating that they violated workplace policies, abused their authority, and repeatedly disregarded city directives. According to the report, there was talk about a goon squad being created among park rangers, with the group reportedly gooning as a way to deal with the homeless problem. Police records said gooning includes not reporting drugs they confiscate and using excessive force on the homeless. Another police report identified a gun that was taken from a man who they called a racial slur. A total of 6 park rangers were placed on administrative leave during the investigation. 4 rangers have resigned from the unit. Mesa Mayor Mark Freeman released a statement that said, "Our community's trust matters, and the results of this investigation are unacceptable and do not reflect the values and expectations of the City of Mesa. Our priority now is rebuilding that trust and ensuring our park ranger program meets the high standards our community expects." Mesa PD is expected to introduce a revamped ranger unit after the first of the year, following community feedback and the results of this investigation. Live in the newsroom, Jason Berry for Arizona's Family.